Happy that you're all here with us today. I'm going to have a lot of fun. Hope you're ready to answer some exciting questions about not only Yiddish theater, but all manner of Jewish culture this time, with a focus on Yiddish theater, of course, but there will be some questions from other areas of Yiddishkeit and Jewish knowledge as well, including some contemporary stuff. Because after all, this is 2020. It's some trivia music. Aleichem shalom to you, to those who are writing. We'll start about a minute after 1, so get cozy. Got my Yamaha here. Having a laugh with it. It's set to the strings setting. So what you're hearing, I'm sure, is precisely like a fine string orchestra. Don't worry, I won't play the whole time. Sehr gut, Adam. I'm doing very well, thank you. Happy to see you here. Was machst du? Percussion noises. Someone's asked, Corbin has asked, Corbin and Jordan, I assume, who played as a team last time and won, are asking, who made the picture that's behind me? There is no picture behind me. This is the New York Harbor. No, but in fact, it's a postcard from the 1930s that I found in the archives, online archives of the Boston Public Library, which makes such old postcards freely available for anyone to use. Very good of them. Right. Get started in just a bit. Hope you're all having a nice day. I've not watched the Hamilton on Disney yet, but I hope to soon. Somebody wrote to me saying they had never seen the show and they were surprised when they got to the Lafayette bit that it was not in Yiddish, because all they had seen of that number was the Yiddish version that I translated and that our cast did on on stage at the Easter bonnet competition for Broadway Cares and won the whole thing. So that was good fun. Yes, directed by Autumn Shapiro himself, along with Ben Liebert. Hello, Motto. Good to have you here. A clarification on the credits of the Hamilton and Broadway and Yiddish sketch. Check it out on YouTube. Autumn, what would you search to find it on YouTube? For those who may not have seen it, those 2 or 3 people who are in this Zoom who have not seen that, probably not many. Something like Broadway, Yiddish, Easter bonnet, any combination of those things, and you'll find our fun sketch. Starring Joel Gray. Right, we'll start in just a couple of minutes. Hope you're all having a lovely morning, plus afternoon. Oh, glad you had fun, Debbie. It was fun having you. I remember you from last time. You got the questions about delicatessens. Okay. More people are trickling in. Okay. More people are trickling in right now, so we're gonna just wait a couple more minutes till, yeah, a couple more minutes, then we'll start. Does anyone recognize this tune? This is not, this won't be for any points. Anybody? It's not from Yiddish theater, but from other 19th century theater. Well, it's yes. It was the Mikado. Very good. The sun whose rays are all ablaze. Nicely done, Autumn. Yes. Yum Yum's aria from the Mikado. Indeed. Dress British, think Yiddish, as some say. The sun whose rays are all ablaze with ever-living glory does not deny his majesty, he scorns to tell a story. He don't exclaim, I blush for shame, so kindly be indulgent, but fierce and bold in fiery gold, he glories all effulgent. I mean to rule the earth as he the sky. We really know our worth, the sun and I. I mean to rule the earth as he the sky. We really know our worth, the sun and I. Recommend the movie Topsy Turvy, one of my favorite movies. Okay. I've been reprimanded by one of our participants, but it's good advice. I don't know if I'll be able to follow it. It's hard not to sway. Anyway, Topsy Turvy is a good movie that has that song in it, all about the making of the Mikado. So we're going to start. Welcome. This is Vos-Ver-Vu, the Great Yiddish Theater Quiz, where we ask you the who, the what, and the where of Yiddish theater. I'm your host, Mikhl Yashinky, presenting this quiz for the National Yiddish Theater Folksbiene from downtown Manhattan with a beautiful view of the Statue of Liberty. Actually, it's a postcard from the 1930s, but it's a similar view to one we get at the Museum of Jewish Heritage, the home of the National Yiddish Theater Folksbiene. So head on down there, back when there's shows, and you'll see a lovely show, and you'll see the Statue of Liberty, as you do now. Some rules for the game. First of all, please don't look things up. Rely on your own seichel, your own brains. It's just not fun if you're looking things up. What's fun about that? There will be 14 toss-ups in this game. When I ask a toss-up, which is open to everyone, you can only provide one answer for the toss-up. Only answer once, and answer in the chat box, and making sure your answer is going to all panelists. So I can see it, and so my fellow panelists who are helping to keep score, Tony and Gia, can see it. You'll get 10 points if you answer the toss-up if you're one of the first 3 people to answer the toss-up. The first person to answer the toss-up correctly then gets asked to either go on camera or unmute their microphone, and you'll have 3 bonus questions from me where it's just the 2 of us communicating, or me and your team. And I'll give you 3 bonuses. Those bonuses are for 5 points each. Toss-up, 10 points each. First 3 to answer get the 10 points. First person to answer gets the bonuses for 5 points each. Please type in Latin characters. You can type the answer in Yiddish or in English. Say the play that I'm asking for is Grüne Felder. You can say Grüne Felder or Green Fields, but please type it in Latin or English characters so that everyone can read it. My fellow panelists can read it. Your fellow participants will not see the answers because you'll be sending them to all panelists. That's basically it. The questions will be mostly, maybe half about Yiddish theater, other half will be about all sorts of topics related to Jewish culture and history and even religion. So let's do it. But first, your prizes. First prize, as it was last time, is you get to request a song of Zalman Mlotek, our artistic director, and he will perform whatever song you wish at his Thursday living room concert, where he performs wonderful Yiddish music. Unless it's not Thursday anymore, but someone can write to everyone and confirm on that. But he'll perform a song of your choosing at his living room concert. Second prize, Thursdays at 1, thank you, Mikhl. Second prize, you will do a cameo for Mikhl Dinner, the associate artistic director of the Folksbiene. You will do a cameo in his 15-minute Yiddish. And Mikhl, maybe you can also confirm when that takes place. A wonderful show that teaches Yiddish, and you'll get to have a cameo on that show. Third prize, I will write Tuesdays at 1. Okay, so this is taking up the time that's usually filled by Michl's 15-minute Yiddish, which is Tuesdays at 1. Third prize, I will write a poem in your honor. I will write a poem in your honor, probably, well, whether in Yiddish or in English, I'm not sure, but anyway, it'll somehow honor you, and we'll send that to you, maybe send it around also. Very good. All right, let's begin. Feel free to unwrap any hard candies you have, because I won't be able to hear you. And we're off. The famous Kleinkunst, or Cabaret theater, that opened in Lodz in 1927 provided an artistic home for Gigon and Schumacher, the most famous Jewish comedy act in pre-war Poland. For 10 points, what was the name of this variety venue founded by the poet and playwright Moshe Broderson, also the name of the mountains upon which Noah's Ark landed after the Great Flood? So type in your answers to all panelists. All right, good. We've got a few correct answers. Many of you are getting it. It's Mount Ararat. That was also the name of this cabaret in Lodz, this famous cabaret. The first to answer correctly was Mitchell Bloom. So please, if we could invite Mitchell Bloom to talk with us. Mitchell, are you there? I think you have to unmute.
Yes, yes.
Hello, Mitchell, well done. Did you know the name of the cabaret theater or just the mountain that Noah's Ark landed on? That's good enough. So 10 points to you and to the other two people who were the first three to get it right. Your bonuses are about the musical Cabaret, written by the Jewish songwriting team of Kander and Ek. The cabaret at which Cabaret takes place is called what?
Kit Kat Club.
The Kit Kat Club, that's right. 5 points to you for that. In what three languages does the Kit Kat Club's MC, played by Joel Grey in the original production, welcome the crowd in the show's opening number?
German, French, and English.
Very good. German, French, and English. Willkommen, bienvenue, welcome. At the end of one song, the MC sings of a gorilla with whom he is dancing, "If you could see her through my eyes," and follows it with this lyric. The lyric was considered too controversial for the Broadway run, and so appears on the original cast album as "She Isn't a Mieskite at All."
She wouldn't look Jewish at all.
Exactly right. She wouldn't look Jewish at all. But if you listen to the original cast album, you'll hear "She Isn't a Mieskite at All." Quite interesting, because people were upset by "She Wouldn't Look Jewish at All," although of course it's meant to be satirical and making a political point. But you've got all three on Cabaret. You're an expert on Cabaret. Well done. Next toss-up. Anyone can answer, and you can answer at any time, including when I'm reading the question, but you only get one answer. The song "I Don't Want to Get Thin," featured in her vaudeville act, contained the lyric, "My sweetheart loves me just the way I am. I have no fear that he'll go chasing round with other mamas. He may find one who will fill my shoes, but not my pajamas." She began singing "My Yiddish Mame" after the death of her own mother in 1925, and had a hit with it in 1928, recorded in English for the A side of the record and Yiddish for the B side. For 10 points, name this star, born Sophia Kalish, and later known as the last of the Red Hot Mamas. Okay, we've gotten plenty of correct answers. The answer is Sophie Tucker. And Mitchell Bloom was the first to answer again. So let's bring Mitchell Bloom back on. Hello, Mitchell.
Hello.
Where are we talking to you from?
Hell's Kitchen.
Hell's Kitchen, very nice. I spent a lot of time there this past year when we were performing Fiddler on the Roof in Yiddish. Good. Your bonuses are on Jewish mothers for 5 points each. This actress and impresario is known as the Mame of Yiddish theater.
Molly Picon?
No, that's Esther Rochel Kaminska.
Oh, okay.
This biblical personage bears the traditional title the Mame among Yiddish-speaking Jews.
Sarah?
It's Rochel. She's
Rochel.
called the Mame Rochel. Mame Rochel.
Okay.
Although Sarah is also, of course, a matriarch. Mikhl and Robert Mirapol, who were adopted by the Jewish poet behind the song Strange Fruit, are the biological sons of this woman, whom they have been campaigning to exonerate for a number of years.
Ethel Rosenberg?
That's Ethel Rosenberg, yes. Exonerate Ethel. All right, very good. 5 points to you for knowing Ethel Rosenberg, and 10 points to you for the toss-up. Next toss-up, open to anyone. This play, the first by Hay Levick to be staged in a theater, was set among the sweatshops of the Lower East Side. A Broadway musical, the title of which is the English equivalent of Levick's title, premiered in 1986 and though it boasted a book by Joe Stein and lyrics by Stephen Schwartz, ran for only 4 performances. For 10 points, what is this Yiddish word used to mean cheap pieces of clothing? Right. Drek is a funny answer, but it's not the correct one. Schmatis is the answer. Schmatis was the name of Hay Leivik's play. And the English equivalent of Schmatis is Rags, which was the name of that musical, but I was looking for Schmatis. Corbin was the first to answer correctly. So let's bring Corbin on. Corbin.
Shalom Aleichem.
And Jordan, I assume?
Yo.
Hello. Did you have any ancestors who worked in the Schmata industry?
Ja, auf Mama's side, alle Menschen haben gearbeitet mit textiles. The
Oh,
Schmatte.
interesting. On Corbin's mother's side, everyone worked in textiles. So it makes sense that you were the first to get Schmatis. Good. For 5 points each, answer these questions about the Lower East Side's garment industry from way back when. Another Yiddish play by Leivik set in the garment industry is known by this one-word title, a word borrowed from English.
Regs. I don't know.
No, it's not Regs, it's Shop.
Of course.
The leading headline of the Vorwärts after this disaster read, Der Morg ist voll mit unserer Korbonis, der ganze Jiddischer Quartal in Treuer. The morgue is full of our victims, the entire Jewish quarter in mourning.
Triangle Shirtwaist Factory Fire.
Jo, richtig. That's correct. The 1909 strike of garment industry workers, known as the Uprising of the 20,000, was led by this union, of which Jewish women made up the largest demographic.
Oh, do you remember what it's called? Huh? The Cloakmakers Union?
No, it was the International Ladies Garment Workers Union.
Ja, warte.
But very well done. 5 points to you for the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory Fire. Never. Yes, I'll just explain a couple of things because there's some confusion about it in the chat. First of all, you type all of your answers in the chat to all panelists. You can find the chat at the bottom of your screen. Bring that up, click on chat, you'll be able to type your answers to all panelists. The toss-ups are open to anyone, so anyone can answer those. The bonuses are only open to the first person who got the toss-up right. So we'll bring that person on mic, as you've been hearing, and I'll have that interchange with them, and they will be the only person who can get points on those bonuses. There are some people who are saying, I got Triangle Shirtwaist Factory Fire first, or I got Ladies Garment Workers Union. It doesn't actually count because you weren't the person receiving the bonuses. It was only that person who received the toss-up correctly, got the toss-up correctly first. So them's the rules. Another toss-up, open to anyone. In this town, bakers are said to run out of the holes to bake bagel. Men fall head over heels in love with blintzes, and the greatest fools were called chachomim, wise men. What is this Polish shtetl known for the folk tales of its notoriously gullible and error-prone population? Okay. The answer is Chelm. Chelm. I received a funny answer of Chelmsford. Never heard of it, but I love it. There should be a town here called Chelmsford. But the first to answer correctly was Ellie Schweber. Someone tells me Chelmsford is possibly a town in Massachusetts. Anyway, let's bring Ellie Schweber on. How do you say your last name, Ellie?
Weber.
Schweber.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy the Chelm stories?
Yeah, I've read them in Yiddish, and
Oh, lovely.
I think I've read one in Hebrew.
I'm sure. Oh, a real maven of Jewish languages.
No, I mean, I've been studying Yiddish for 4 years. The Hebrew one was like at 2nd grade level.
I see, I see. Well, your knowledge of Yiddish may help you to answer these questions, which are all about Yiddish proverbs about fools. So though you're a smarty, your questions are about fools. For 5 points each, complete these Yiddish proverbs about fools. A donkey is recognized by his long ears, a fool by his blank blank.
Boy. I'm tempted to say longer noise, but
Is that your final answer, long nose?
many tears is probably the other guess.
Long tongue. A fool is recognized by his long tongue because he's always jabbering on, not unlike me. Better a slap from a sage than a blank from a fool.
I probably should have my copy of Write the Pomeranzen handy.
No, that would be cheating. Better a slap from a sage than a blank from a fool.
A word from a fool?
A good guess, but it's a kiss. Besser a patch von a chochem eder a kush von a nar. Foolishness and blank grow off of the same wood. And I'll do it in Yiddish for you also. Narishkeit und blank wachsen auf ein Holz.
Chachma?
That'd be interesting, but it's stolz, pride. Narishkeit und stolz wachsen auf ein Holz. Foolishness and pride grow off of the same wood. Anyway, it was fun meeting you, Ellie.
Nice
10 points to you for the toss-up. Great, next toss-up, open to anyone. This toss-up is about a person who is decidedly not a fool. A contemporary of this man's called him unique, saintly, holy, and pure, the light of Israel, possessing all-embracing knowledge, sharp and well-versed, with 10 measures of esoteric knowledge, whose praise is recognized in all of Poland. For 10 points, anyone can answer. Who was this 18th century rabbi, the spiritual leader of Lithuanian Jewry, who at the age of 4 was said to have learned the entirety of the Hebrew Bible by heart? Very good. Looks like Corbin was the first to answer. Also getting in there, 10 points to them too, is Leonard and Mike. Leonard Lerman and Mike Hillert. That's the Vilna Gaon. The Vilna Gaon, also known as Eliyahu ben Shlomo Zalman, the Gaon Rabbi Eliyahu, Rabbi Elijah, however you answered it, that's the Vilna Gaon, the genius of Vilna. The Shem Tov, as Moshe Lobel tells us, yes, opposed to Hasidism and the Baal Shem Tov, that's the Shem Tov, the Gaon of Vilna, the Gra. Hello, Corbin and Jordan.
Hello.
You may know these. You were there in Vilna with me. We studied Yiddish there together. Your toss-ups are on the Gaon's hometown of Vilna.
Ooh.
The famous Yiddish theatrical ensemble of the city, which later made a name for itself touring all over the world, was called what?
De Vilna Truppe.
Yeah, the Vilna Truppe, the Vilna Troupe. The Jewish political party that began a movement to unite Jewish workers in the Russian Empire in the pursuit of socialist revolution in Russia, and eventually the granting of national autonomy to Eastern European Jews, was founded in Vilna.
Are you asking about its name?
Yeah, the name of the party.
Bund.
The Bund. The General Jewish Labor Bund, the Allgemeiner Jiddischer Arbeiterbund, in Lithuania, Poland, and Rusland. 2 for 2 with the bonuses. Author Chaim Grade's memoir, Der Mames Shabbosim, My Mother's Sabbath Days, discusses his mother's occupation as a Zitzerke in Vilna, a sitting woman. This term meant a woman whose work consisted of what?
Sewing? I have no
Say
idea.
again.
Sewing? Ich weiß nicht.
No, I thought you said it because it's very similar, but it's selling.
Ah.
She sat in the marketplace and she sold fruit. That was a Zitzerke. So not sewing, but selling. So 10 to you for the bonuses, 10 to you for the toss-up. Adieu. Picture round. All right. This one features vintage Jewish sheet music covers. We're having new age fun with a vintage feel. Vintage sheet music covers. I'm going to show you a cover and I'm going to ask you a question about it. Good. Vos-Ver-Vu, the great Yiddish theater quiz. That's not the, anyway. One moment. Okay. Here is the piece of sheet music. No, that's Shmatis. Anyway, fun to see that. Shmatis from before. I just wanted to show you that. That's Hey Levik's play Rags, Shmatis. Good. This cover for the 1912 song Hurm Titanic, oder der Nasser Kever, the Titanic's disaster or the watery grave, depicts the ghosts of a Jewish couple that died in the foundering of the ocean liner. Who is this couple? And try to include first names if you can. If no one knows the first names, then we'll give it to the first person who got the last names, but try to get the first names. Okay, let's see who was the first. It was Isidore and Ida Strauss. And it looks like the first to answer was Susan Horowitz. Susan Horowitz. People started answering before I said the thing about the first name. So just if you said the last name, then you're in there. Susan Horowitz, the first to answer. All right, Susan, hello.
Hi,
Where am I getting you from?
New York City.
New York City, lovely place. I am there in spirit, and we'll be there soon. Anyway, your bonuses are all about sheet music, and it's a whole picture round. I call it cover band because it's covers of sheet music, covers of Yiddish sheet music. So I'm going to show you one and ask you a question about it. What would you expect the second word of this song title to be based on the illustration?
Light. Maybe candle.
Both good guesses, but anyway, it's Benchen, Licht Benchen.
Oh.
The blessing of the candles. That's the name of this song, Licht Benchen. Anyway, next question. Who is the composer of this song? Yid bist du geh weiter geh. You're a Jew, go on, the Wandering Jew, from the opera Dr. Al-Masada. Who wrote it?
This I do not know.
That's the father of Yiddish theater, Avram Goldfaden.
Yeah.
And third bonus, who is the singer of this tune, pictured here? Mutter und Kind, mother and child.
Gosh, I don't know. I know Sophie Tucker sang My Yiddish Mama, but I don't believe this is Sophie Tucker.
No, another Yiddish mama, this one. Do you have a guess?
No, I'm afraid I do not.
No worries. It's Jenny Goldstein. Jenny Goldstein. Thank you, Susan. Lovely talking with you.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Isidore and Ida Strauss, in case anyone missed it, was the answer to the last toss-up. Those were the two pictured in the as their ghosts above the sinking of the Titanic. There's an interesting line about Ida Strauss in the song where she says, "Ich geh nit von der Stelle, ich starb da mit mein Mann, sollen Ehren klein und groß den Namen Ida Strauss." May the name of Ida Strauss be honored because she didn't leave her husband at the moment of their death. Last question before the break. An apocryphal text telling the deeds of this ancient Jewish widow who beheaded an enemy general, thereby saving her people, is read on Hanukkah. Because she is said to have induced the man to sleep by feeding him wine and cheese before she beheaded him, some Jews have the custom of eating dairy products on Hanukkah. All right. Ellie Schweber was the first to answer correctly with Judith, or Yehudis, as she is known in Yiddish and Hebrew. Hello, Ellie.
Hi again.
For 5 points each, answer these questions related to Jewish dairy cuisine. Dairy foods are also customary on this Jewish holiday. Some say because the numerical value of the word cholov, milk, is 40, the number of days that Moses spent on Mount Sinai receiving the Torah.
Shavuos, or as my mother-in-law would say, Shvius.
Both are correct. Shavuos, Shvius. The Feast of Weeks, I would also accept. The name of this Ashkenazic dish is related to the Russian word blini, thin pancakes often served with sour cream.
Blintz.
Blintzen, related to blini, very good. Harry Rosen was the founder of this Brooklyn-originated restaurant chain, famed for its cheesecake made with a sponge cake crust.
Oh yeah, just finished reading the dairy restaurant. Lindy's?
It's Juniors. Harry Rosen founded Juniors. Thank you, Ellie. I'd love to have blintzes with you someday. Halavai. Now we're at our break. So can we get the points? All right. Okay, the points. All right. I'm going to perform first. I'm going to perform a little song, and then I'll get you the points. All right. Emma Goldman was famous for her blintzes, someone tells us. I'm sure she was. All right. I did a song for you last time, if you were here with us, about questions, because this is an event of questions. I'm going to do the same. Oh, where's my song? Oh, there it is. I'm going to do the same this time. I'm going to sing you a song about questions. This one's called Kids Ask Questions. It's a funny kind of song. I hope you find it. So then we'll hear who's in the lead. Then we'll get back to 7 more questions. But first, Kinder fragen Fragen. Kinder fragen Fragen, Kinder reden Red. Has wachsen sollen sie, nach ist nur Gesinterheit. Kinder fragen Fragen, Kinder reden Red. Has wachsen sollen sie, nach ist nur Gesinterheit. Was soll von Sanatorie bringen dir die Mame? A Schwester, sie a Brüder, sie beide gort zusammen. Entfert kleiner Mäuschele, spielt sich mit a Schwert. Kein Schwester, Brüder darf ich nicht, soll die Mame haben a Pferd. Oi, Kinder fragen Fragen, Kinder reden Red. Has wachsen sollen sie, nach ist nur Gesinterheit. Kinder fragen Fragen, Kinder reden Red. Has wachsen sollen sie, nach ist nur Gesinterheit. Der Tat ist mit am Mummele in a Park gesessen. Sucht hier bis mein Äußer, bis mein Leben, mein Prinzessin. Ist zugelaufen Schleumele und hat das nicht verstanden. Du hast doch ein paar Nacht dieselbe Red gesagt der Mamen. Oi, Kinder fragen Fragen, Kinder reden Red. As wachsen sollen sie, nach ist nur Gesinterheit. Kinder fragen Fragen, Kinder reden Red. As wachsen sollen sie, nach ist nur Gesinterheit. Der Tate ruft die Schickse Malech. No, here it is. Was ist also ein Samalech, Mame? Ich verstehe das nicht. Am Malech ist am Mädele, mit Fliegelech, was flieht. Der Tate ruft die Schicksemalech und sie flieht doch nicht. Sei ruhig, oi, sagt es, wird sie fliehen, die mir nicht. Hoi, Kinder fragen, Kinder reden. Das wachsen sollen sehen, nach ist nur gesinnt red. Kinder fragen, Kinder reden. Das wachsen sollen sehen, nach ist nur gesinnt red. Das ist Kinder fragen. And now Mikhl fragt fragen. Because there's 7 more questions for all of you. All right. Oh, could you not see the translation? I put up a translation. Maybe you couldn't see it. That's a pity. Oh, you saw. Okay. Thank God. Thank you very much. Thank you for your nice words. And I'm glad that you saw the translation. Good. I'm very relieved. Someone said that they did not. All right, here are the points. Mitchell Bloom leads with 60 points. Corbin, Allardyce, and Jordan Porch are next with 55 points, very tight. And Ellie Schweber is third with 40 points. And then we have Leonard and Susan with 20 points. Possibly there are some others who have some points too, but those are our leaders as of now, but you're all still in it. Plenty of time left to rack up those points. And we're back with another toss-up open to everyone. How much more time? We'll be playing for around 30 more minutes-ish. About an hour is the game. Anyway, the Yiddish Theatrical Awards, intended as Second Avenue's answer to the Tony Awards, but only given out 1985 to 1987, were known as what? A picture of the statuettes appears here. They depict the father of the Yiddish theater, Avram Goldfaden. These awards for Yiddish theater given out in a few years in the 80s were called what? Yes, they were called the Goldies. They were called the Goldies, which I think is a very cute name for Avram Goldfaden, father of Yiddish theater. Arlene was the first to get it. So let's bring Arlene Rosenblum on. Very sorry to those of you who couldn't see the picture. Corbin and Jordan are writing and you can't see the picture, but everyone else seems to be able to. So maybe it's something on your end. I don't know.
No, we couldn't either.
Oh, you couldn't either. Could anyone see it?
Either.
And yet Mitchell Bloom saw it. So I don't know what's up. Some are seeing it, some are not. But sorry you couldn't see it, but it didn't prevent you from getting it right, Arlene.
No.
Anyway, for 5 points each, answer me these questions about other Yiddish theatrical institutions that are no longer. Very good. This one, I also have some pictures for you. So let me know if you're able to see them, Arlene. Can you see this?
No.
Well, it doesn't actually matter. I'll give you all the information you need. This is really just because it's fun to see. But this is a picture of, maybe try to go full screen. Maybe that's the answer.
We are on full screen.
You are full screen. And I don't know, other people are seeing it. So sorry about that. Anyway. The only Yiddish theater edifice that remains standing on 2nd Avenue, the building of the Yiddish Art Theater, is now the home of a cinema called what? Formerly the Yiddish Theater, now a cinema called what?
Say something.
Do you know what street?
It's on 2nd Avenue.
That's a long way.
Yeah, I don't know what cross street.
We don't know. They? No?
Don't know.
We don't know.
It's the Village East Cinema. And I'm showing the, this is how it looked way back when. This is the auditorium with the Jewish star in the ceiling for those who can see it. But unfortunately, You guys cannot, I'm sorry. This theater with a magnificent name was the first theater built in New York City expressly for the purpose of hosting Yiddish productions. Erected in 1902, it was demolished in 1930, and the Sarah D. Roosevelt Park was set up over its land.
The Rialto.
It's the Grand Theater. That's what I was trying to get at with the magnificent name, the Grand Theater.
Right.
The National Theater, which rivaled the Grand in its grandeur, was built in 1912 at 2nd Avenue and this street, sometimes mispronounced by out-of-towners to match the name of a city in Texas.
Houston. Houston.
Yeah, Houston, or as some people mispronounce it, Houston. Very good. 5 to you for Houston.
15.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Arlene and
Bob.
and Bob. All right. Next toss-up. Someone tells me it's at Village's Cinema is at 12th Street. So that's great. And other people are writing that they're seeing everything perfectly. So sorry to those of you who cannot. Anyway, we move on. The matriarch Leah gave birth to this many sons, each of them later to become a tribe of ancient Israel. The Talmud is made up of the same number of orders, or Sidorim. For 10 points, name this number, represented by the Hebrew letter Vov. Leah had this many children, there are this many orders or Storim in the Talmud. The first to answer correctly is Alexander. You'll just tell me how to pronounce your last name. So come on, Alexander. It's 6. There's 6. Alexander, how do you say your last name?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. The last name is pronounced Lungarov.
Yungarov.
Yeah.
Okay. Or something like it. Anyway, wonderful to have you here. Are you a great Talmud Chacham?
No, but I like taking part in quizzes.
Oh, good. Okay. Your bonuses are all about the Talmud. So it would help if you are a Talmud Chacham, but we'll see how you do. Your questions are about the ancient compendium of Jewish law known as the Talmud. Because it includes 6 orders, or in Hebrew, Shishas Dorim, the Talmud is often known by this acronym.
Shas.
Shas. Shas for Shishas Dorim. Very good. This Talmudic tractate is known as Shas Cotton, the miniature Shas, because it is said to contain all the concepts found throughout the Talmud. The name of a tractate.
No, I don't know.
That's Maseches Ksubis, the tractate known as Ksubis. At the famous event known as the Trial of the Talmud in 1240, the Catholic Church brought charges against the Talmud for what were thought to be blasphemies it contained against Christianity. The trial culminated in the burning of 24 carriage loads of holy Jewish texts on the streets of what European capital?
Paris?
Paris, exactly right. That was the Disputation of Paris. Nice job, Alexander.
Thanks. I'm coming from Europe, so.
You're from Europe. Are you from?
I'm coming
where
in
are
from
you
Europe, so.
What part of Europe are you from?
Belgium, so France is a neighboring country.
Very good. Thank you. And
Okay,
thanks to my brother Gabe Yashinky, who helped me write the Talmud questions, because he is in fact a Talmud Chacham. Another picture round. Sorry to those of you who cannot see. There seems to be only a couple of you though. Anyway. In 1928, a Jewish artist born in the Russian Empire invited the members of the Soviet Yiddish theatrical troupe known as Gosset, the Moscow State Yiddish Theater, to his home outside of Paris when they were in France touring. For 10 points, who is this artist seen with members of the troupe in this photograph? Jewish artist seen with members of the Gosset troupe who he had over to his house outside of Paris. Even if you do not see it, you might be able to get it by knowing that. But quite a few of you are knowing it. Ra-ya was the first to answer correctly. Ra-ya. Let's bring Ra-ya on. Hello.
Yes, hello.
Hello. Hello.
Can you
Your
hear
name is
me?
Ra?
Raisa, Razel.
Razel. Okay, a few options.
Rachel is the right one.
All right, Rochel. Very
Yeah.
good. Did you know the answer about Mame Rochel earlier in the quiz?
No, I didn't, unfortunately.
Okay,
But I
cool.
know that today is Mark Chagall's birthday, by the way.
Oh, how
Mazel tov.
fortuitous. I did not know that. Mazel tov, Mark Chagall, up in Himmel. All right. Rochel, are you able to see the pictures when I put them up?
Yes, I do.
Okay, very good. Your questions are all about people from the Gosset troupe, the Moscow State Yiddish Theater troupe, who appear with Mark Chagall in these photos. So, the woman, or not all of them are from the troupe. This one's not that I'm going to ask about.
Bella is his wife.
But you got it already. But I was going to say the woman in the front row of the same photo, Chagall's wife, herself a noted Yiddish memoirist. But you didn't need me to say all that. That's Bella Chagall, his wife. Very good.
Sorry, yes.
No, that's okay. The actor beside Bella, who played the title role in Gosset's production of Goldfond's operetta, The Sorceress. He was among the Jewish artists slain by Stalin's orders on August 12, 1952, the so-called Night of the Murdered Poets.
He looks to me like Eisenstein, but I think his name it starts with a tse. I cannot tell you exactly, but it sounds like it starts with a tse.
Yeah, it's
Slightly.
Binyamin Zuskin.
Zuskin, yeah.
Yeah, you weren't far off, but it's Zuskin.
Yes.
And you're right, he does look a bit like Eisenstein with the massive curly hair.
Like the producer Eisenstein, yes. Yes.
That's right. The man in costume here for a 1921 Gosset production called An Evening of Shalom Aleichem is posing beside the painter. He was the artistic director of Gosset and also met his untimely death at the hands of Stalin's agents in 1948. Michoils, that's Shloime Michoils. Very good. Did you grow up in Moscow or anywhere thereabouts?
Close by, but yes, I am originally from Russia.
Very nice. Well, and a pleasure to have you here, Rochel.
Yeah, it helps. Thank you.
AKA Raya.
Thank you.
Okay. Someone is getting some interesting facts about Chagall. Chagall wrote poetry in Russian and in French. Leonard is thinking of setting it to music, Leonard Lerman. So that's wonderful to know. He also wrote in Yiddish, of course. His Mama Lashon. And Leonard also tells us that Shloime Michoils, Leonard's mother, was his interpreter in Boston. Wow, quite a family history, Leonard, and a future too, because perhaps you will set the poetry of Mark Chagall. Next toss-up. This one is not about Yiddish, but it's about Jews. When in 2018, this Jewish singer and record producer moved out of the apartment he had shared for 5 years with a noted television actress and writer, he said through tears, "You can finally eat in the bed without anyone getting mad at you." For 10 points, name this man, a member of the band Fun, and formerly the beau of Lena Dunham. There are no answers yet. Maybe unsurprisingly, we do have a couple wrong answers. Oh, and a right one at last. Gott zu danken. We have a right answer from Debbie Berman. That's Jack Antonoff. Jack Antonoff. Hello, do you listen to the band Fun, Debbie?
No, but his sister babysat for us.
Amazing. Where was that?
In New Jersey.
New Jersey, okay. So that's where Jack grew up, I guess?
He went to the Solomon Schechter Day School.
Oh, I also went to a Solomon Schechter Day School, but in Detroit. Anyway, for 5 points each, name these things that are both Jewish and fun. This ancient outdoor sport is associated with the frolicsome Jewish holiday of Lag BaOmer. Unlike boimer, people go around with things that you use for this sport.
Playing ball.
It's actually archery, bow and arrow.
Yeah, that was close.
Mhm. Ruth Handler was the creator of this toy named for her daughter.
1 minute.
Ruth Handler, a Jewish woman, she created this toy named for her daughter.
Slinky.
That's a Barbie. Her daughter was Barbara. She created Barbie dolls. But I'd like to have a child named Slinky. That sounds like fun. Angelica Rozianu, a Romanian Jewish woman, is the most successful female competitor ever in which sport? She is the last non-Asian woman to win the world championship, which she did 6 times in succession.
Badminton.
Table tennis, ping pong.
That was pretty close. Do we get partial credit?
No, unfortunately, but you do get lots of credit for Jack Antonoff's sister babysitting your kids. I'll see you next time. Another toss-up. This one's an audio clue. I'm going to play an LP on my gramophone. You tell me the operatic tenor heard singing glorious high notes on a tune from the Yiddish theater, Malkele dem Rebens. He's singing a tune from the Yiddish theater. He's an operatic tenor. He's singing beautiful high notes. Name this guy. I'm going to my record player. He's not singing yet, but he will in a second. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Jan Pierce. That was Jan Pierce singing for us. Good. We have a few people who've picked up points on that. The first is Leonard. Also answering correctly among the first 3 to answer correctly were Autumn Shapiro and Rochelle Bronson. You also pick up points, 10 points to each of you. But the first was Leonard Lerman. Let's bring Leonard Lerman on. Good. Are you of an age where you were able to have ever heard Jan Pierce perform?
Only on my grandfather's 78s, which we have hundreds of.
Very good. Like, oh, hundreds of. Amazing.
But
So
I did work with his wife Roberta Peters at the Met in the 1970s.
Okay, so these questions may be well suited to you. These are all questions about intersections between Jews and the world of mainstream opera.
Okay.
The French Jewish composer Fromental Halevi is best known for writing this 1835 opera about a Jewish woman in medieval Germany in love with a Gentile prince. The title means the Jewess.
La Juive.
La Juive. Very good. This Jewish soprano, born in Crown Heights, was also known by the playful nickname of Bubbles.
Beverly Sills. I worked with her at the Met too.
Oh, you worked with her at the Met?
Yes. We used to share a stool together when in Thais in the 4th act. She would sit and she would get up, and when she went on stage, I would stand on that stool and conduct the women's chorus as they entered.
Oh my! So you were a choral director at the Met?
I was assistant chorus master in 1977 to 78. Yes.
Wow.
And they were supposed to do La Juive at the Met that year, but Richard Tucker died, and so they canceled the production.
What a pity! I love La Juive. All right, a chorus of Hebrew slaves sings the famous anthem Va Pensiero, dreaming of a return from the Babylonian exile in this Verdi opera.
Nabucco.
Nabucco. Wow. So you were a ringer for those questions. Well done. So. All right. Debbie tells us that Jan Pierce is her friend's uncle. Thank you, Debbie. You seem to have connections to most everyone, but that's Jewish geography for you. A kleine Welt, as we say, a small world. All right. I'm going to show you a very adorable dog. I will then zoom out from the dog to show you the person holding it. I want you to tell me the name of that person. One moment. Here's the doggy. I'm going to show you a few more pictures where I'll show you more of this picture. Tell me, who is the actress holding the puppy? That's the full view. I'll do that again because I think it's fun. Puppy, puppy with a bit of lady, more, full lady with puppy. That's Molly Picon. So let's see who is the first to answer correctly. Mike Hillert, a new voice. Mike Hillert was the first to answer correctly. Let's bring Mike on. Hello, Mike.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good, how are you? All right. Your bonuses are, we'll draw from pictures of Molly Picon's theatrical costumes. I'm going to show you pictures of her costumes. You'll tell me things about them. These were featured in an exhibit a few years ago at the Museum of New York. I think the Folksbiene might have co-sponsored. Anyway, Molly played a boy in the title role of this operetta. It was a character she would return to often in her act. This was her costume for that role. Do you have a guess, Mike?
Is it the same movie Barbara Streisand was in?
Oh, not a bad guess. But it's not Yentl. It's Yankele. She played a boy named Yankele. Molly wore the costume seen here in a show written by sisters Rose and Miriam Schomer with music by Joseph Rumshinsky. The show, which ran in 1928 at the Second Avenue Theater, was called The Blank Girl.
I don't know.
If you look at the costume and just think the blank girl, do you have a guess?
Jester?
It's the circus girl. Das Zirkusmädel. And one more. Molly wore this wedding gown pictured in a 1950 musical comedy, notable as the 30th theatrical collaboration between her, the composer Rumshinsky, and Picon's husband, the director Jacob Kalish. The show was called Mazel Tov Blank, wherein the blank is a woman's name. She wore this in a show called Mazel Tov Blank, and the blank is a woman's name.
The collar?
It's I'm looking for a woman's name. Anyway, it's Molly. Mazel Tov Molly was the name of the show. You might have you know, maybe not the most creative of titles. Mazel Tov Molly, featuring Molly Picon. Good. Thank you, Mike. Another Mike in the room. Good. This is our last question. There's 14 questions. This is the 14th, meaning it's the last one. More Jewish geography. Arlene Rosenblum tells us Molly Picon was Bob's godmother. Wow, that's interesting. So a friend of the family, I guess? Was the family in Yiddish theater? That's interesting. I'd like to know more. But anyway, your 14th, yes, the family was in Yiddish theater, perhaps. Arlene tells us. 14th question, final question. The composer Jay Gorney, who was born in Bialystok and moved to Detroit with his family at age 9, based this Depression-era anthem on the melody of a Russian Jewish lullaby he had heard as a child. The lyrics paint a picture of Americans who helped to build up the country and fight its wars, but are now reduced to begging on the streets, pleading for change with such lines as, Why don't you remember? I'm your pal. Good. So we've gotten correct answers from the first three to answer correctly were Mitchell Bloom, Ellie Schweber, Leonard Lerman. The first was Mitchell Bloom. It's Brother, Can You Spare a Dime? Brother, Can You Spare a Dime? Hello, Mitchell. Are you a fan of that era's music?
Absolutely.
What are some...
I worked on a dance piece called Black Tuesday, choreographed by Paul Taylor, and the finale of the dance piece was Brother, Can You Spare a Dime? So that's my connection.
How lovely. Okay, this your interest in that genre may help you answer these questions. Complete these lyrics by the wordsmith behind Brother, Can You Spare a Dime? Yip Harburg, born Isidor Hochberg to Russian Jewish immigrant parents on the Lower East Side. I'm going to give you a lyric with some blanks. You'll finish it. When all the world is a blank blank and the raindrops tumble all around.
Hopeless Jumble.
Hopeless Jumble, very good. Why don't you tell us what that's from?
Over the Rainbow.
Yeah, so it's from the intro to Over the Rainbow. I thought it would be a bit hard because it's not sung in the movie, and Judy Garland apparently only recorded it once with that intro, but that's from the intro, the first lines. When all the world is a hopeless jumble and the raindrops tumble all around, heaven opens a magic lane. All right, second lyric by Yip Harburg. Say it's only a blank blank sailing over a cardboard sea, but it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me.
Paper Moon.
Paper Moon, very good. Another 5 points to you for that. Might as well read this interesting fact about Jay Gorney that's being sent to us by Leonard. Jay Gorney's wife later married the ex-wife of E.Y. Harburg. When I met her, I said, I always wanted to meet the wife of Brother, Can You Spare a Dime? Okay. All right, last lyric by Yip. Down with blank, the flowers and rice and shoes. Down with blank, the root of all midnight.
Down with
blues.
love.
Down with love. Very good. Down with love, but up with you, Mitchell Bloom, for getting all of those bonuses correctly. All right, so that's our game. Let's receive the scores. My fellow panelists, Tony Brown and Gia Pache, have been helping me very much with all the technical aspects. Gia has been keeping track of the scores, so let's hear them. All right, I'm receiving them now, so hold on a moment. Thank you for your nice comments, all of you. I've received first and second and third place. Okay. All right. So, very good. Third place is Leonard Lerman. Leonard Lerman in third with 75 points. You get a poem written by me in your honor. Maybe I'll write something with an operatic flair in honor of your work at the Metropolitan Opera. Second place, champions. Last time we did this time very respectable second place is Corbin and Jordan. Corbin Allardyce and Jordan Porch with 85 points. Leonard, 75 points. Corbin, second points. And first place, okay, so coming in there with that last question, brought you right in, soaring right into first, Mitchell Bloom in first place with a whopping 100 points. Second place, Corbin and Jordan, you get to cameo on Mottel Dinner Series 15-Minute Yiddish. First place, Mitchell Bloom, you get to request a song of Zalman Mlotek. Maybe you could request a song from this era of music that you know and love so well. Wonderful job to all of you. I'm getting in a few other scores. Ellie with 60, Debbie with 30. There are no prizes associated with those scores, but I'm very happy you were all here. Very happy you had a nice time as you're telling me. Hello, Nancy. Of course, I remember you from Yiddish Book Center's Yiddish School. You were a pleasure then. Pleasure to have you here. Ra Ya also racked up some points, and Susan, they have 20 points. Raya, also known as Rachel. All right, thank you all. That's it for today. And thank you to everyone from the Folksbiene who helped. I hope you have a good night. And remember, all the world's a great big question, so go and find some answers. Seid gesund.